folks, welcome back. It's Big Dub for another installment of Friday the 13th. Rocking with the Adam character this time around. Fun little way to play. Now, like I said, I choose random as far as, counselors, Jason, spawn, and what have you. Now, I do prefer Jason as my spawn. But other than that, like I said, as far as, the role that I'm going to be, I just let the computer pick that. Now, the reason is it just keeps it fresh, I just like to roll with the punches, so to speak, and deal with whatever the cards may be. Now, there it is with the two-seat car. I get the bat, the med kit, the key. This is a good start, especially for Adam, because I have a perk on that's going to enhance his bat use. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as the game rolls on. Now, I choose to basically show this one in its entirety, only because it is a pretty epic one. Usually I might cut out a little bit here and there, but for the most part, there's always some kind of action, always some kind of scheming going on here in this one. Now, I did edit it a little bit just to fit that 15-minute window that I like to work with in YouTube, just to try and keep some kind of quality to the video. But here it is. The girls get the battery. I'm trying to tell her, give it up or come with me to put it in. Now, I can't really tell her I get the key because she doesn't have a microphone. Now, the only guy really communicating is Jason. Now, because I played a game just with him one before. Now, here he is already on my back. He's already hurt me. He's just jabbed the pickaxe right in my back. And, it's off to a rough start here, essentially. Now, the game is still early on. Like I said, I just cut out a little clip at the beginning and a tiny clip in the middle just to make it fit. Now, here it is. He's trying to knock down the door. Little does he know, I got a little something waiting for him. Just call me Baby Ruth, calling my shot. Bang. Right to the dome, give him a good stun. Now, this happens to me actually twice in this game. You'll see, when people are coming through the window that I want to exit. Now, at this point, I'm like, fuck it. It's all gone to hell in a handbasket. Now we're all trapped in this cabin with Jason. So it's a pretty dicey moment here where I could have died. And it's essentially, this girl gets trapped. Now, this kid I know wants me, specifically because I banged him over there with a bat. Because here he goes, he peels off after me. And I heard him like mumbling a little bit. I don't know if you can hear him, probably doesn't have a share play on, but I give him the dip. Now, once again, bum! Not only do I give him the dip, but I turn back and pop him one more time. Now, the bat basically at that point breaks, alright, because that was two hits. Usually a character's going to get like 2 hits out of the bat, unless they have high luck and or the man-at-arms perk, okay? But I'll talk more about that stuff later on. In the meantime, here I am, kind of in a tough position early on. I do have the key in the med kit, but he really wants me back. Now, I hit him twice over the head with the bat, and like I said, I have the prolonged stun perk on, and it's actually the epic perk where it's a 30-odd% increase in stun time for Jason. So it really bangs him up, so to speak. Now, here it is. This is a key moment. I get the second keys. Now, there's a reason why here I keep the second keys, and I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But in the meantime, I got the pot, okay, and the 2 keys and the med kit. And I'm trying to put a little distance between me and the other players. I'm using them as a buffer. Now, that's a key strategy I want to talk a little bit more about, actually, is, what it is to kind of rub Jason off, against these other players. Now, that's essentially why I took the second keys, is because I want to utilize these other players as the game goes on to my advantage. Because I basically decided at this point, I'm going lone wolf. Nobody's really communicating. The girl was holding the battery. I don't know what she was waiting for, but essentially, I get the 2 sets of keys, so I know nobody's going anywhere unless someone calls the cops. All right. But at this point, nobody has, and essentially I'm looking for a better weapon than the pot. Also, I still haven't found a map. This is a moment actually where I do find the map, almost halfway through the gameplay, alright, and I realize I'm up north here, isolated, This cabin's already been gone through, but I'm essentially looking for 3 items, okay? The battery, the gas, and a decent weapon. Alright, so I find the decent weapon with the pipe wrench. Okay, now I'm basically isolated. I'm trying to choose. Now this is where I cut out the clip to save a little time. Essentially, like I said, I'm looking for the 2 items to repair the car. I see that the 4-seater is booby-trapped. Okay, so I make the conscious decision I'm going to go for the 2-seater. Now, essentially, I'd rather have the 2-seater anyway, because I'm just worried about me at this point. Like I said, you know, I equate this to playing the lone wolf style if I was playing Battlefield, essentially. Same type deal, except it's just a different game. So, like I said, I'm staying on the fringes, staying away from my players, essentially, as if I was playing Call of Duty, you know. Here it is. I finally find the battery. Now, Adam's got decent repair. I actually like Adam as a character. He's got good strength, and he's got good repair. Those 2 factors can really help you out. Now, here it is. I get back to the 2-seater, and I'm able to go for the repair. Now there it is. You hear me.
Got it.
You hear me goof up a little bit on that last sequence, and that's really all it takes with a good Jason. And this guy was a good Jason, let me tell you. Essentially, he's going to hear the spark. He knows he's got the bear trap down at the 4-seater, so it's only a matter of time he comes to the 2-seater. So sure enough, here he comes. I go back for the wrench. I hear this guy. He's either getting grabbed out, choked out, essentially. You know, he gets through the window, I'm not sure, but essentially I'm using him as a buffer once again. And that's the key to survival sometimes, playing this lone wolf style, is using these other players to your advantage. Now here it is, me having the 2 keys comes into factor, because now this guy, now meanwhile Jason's on my back, but in the meantime it looks as if you know, these players are still working on the vehicles. Now you'll see that that does come into play a little bit into my favor, but in the meantime I'm just trying to avoid Jason. Now he's specifically after me in particular because I've already popped him 2 times with a bat, and he's pretty pissed. Like I said, he's one of the only guys that did have a microphone. Now I wasn't saying anything. Obviously, I was trying to stay off the radar. Now I really don't talk too much as Jason or to Jason. It's just my personal preference, but in the meantime, there was really nobody else to communicate in this game, so I figured I'm on my own. You know, so in the meantime, like I said, I'm looking for the gas, and I'm on these outskirts. I'm in Springwater, taking a chance that maybe it might be down here. Also, maybe I can find a pocket knife. And I was thinking to myself, I should have really just thrown down one of the sets of keys in the woods.
Oh my god. What happened?
Because I knew that if I was taking off, I was taking the key with me. I really didn't care for anyone else to get out. I wanted them to occupy Jason while I made my escape. And that's pretty much the way it's unfolding so far. You know what I mean? I've been able to utilize them as buffers. You know, essentially, it's as if like you're rubbing a guy off on a pick. You know what I mean? You're playing basketball or whatever. You're trying to lose your defender, and you utilize one of your teammates, and more. You know, preferably one, if not more, preferably. But here we go. Now, like I said, still looking for the gas, and like I said, Adam's a top character. He's pretty well-rounded, able to do a little bit of everything, and you know, I'm still looking for that pocket knife, maybe firecrackers, something different. And like I said, I should have just tossed the keys down in the creek and just kept one set of keys and then picked up whatever I might have picked up along the way. But it happens not to become a factor. I don't want to be, you know, making a spoiler, but essentially the cabins have been pretty well picked over at this point. But either way, Jason's still pretty hot and heavy. Now you can hear the music cue that you know, he's probably close by now. It could be one of those fake cues that it gives you, and it's what makes this game fun, is it keeps you on your toes. But in this particular case, I'm able to usually tell the difference. And sure enough, it is Jason. Now, keep in mind, I still get the pipe wrench on me. Now,
Damn it!
bingo. Just die right across the mug. Now, this guy's really heated at this point. Here it is to where, and I alluded to it earlier, the second time, it almost looks like a replay where I get hemmed up with characters coming into the cabin as I'm trying to make my escape. So I decide to just kind of pull aside into the bathroom for a second. Now Jason's on a rampage, he's breaking in. I decide to dip, you know. I know the two Chad characters are right there to keep him occupied now. He's probably not going to be able to differentiate who's who in the confusion, and I'm going to try to make my escape. Now this is kind of a key moment in the game. I still got the pipe wrench. You know, it's got one hit on it. I got another good hit left with it. And, you know, here it is. I decide to pause under street lamp, and the importance of that is it helps with the fear. It helps with the fear factor. It makes your character obviously less fearful. Alright, not only that, but I'm going to regain my stamina. That's the point of resting in those lighted areas. Now, essentially, here's where I've made my break. And I'm feeling pretty positive about it because I've realized that the gas is in the tank at this point. Okay, someone has put the gas in the two-seater. Now there I am. I got a ways to go, but I've distanced myself from that final player. Essentially, and when I say final player, I just mean the last player contact. Now there you can catch a look on the mini-map. Jason's actually going for that guy as we speak, and it's a perfect example of using your players, or the other players I should say, as a buffer. Now basically I know I'm in the clear. I got the keys, you know, the car's ready to go. It's just a matter of getting there unscathed, unseen, you know, and I pretty much know there's a 50-50 chance, you know, that I'm probably going to get out of here at this point. You know, like I said, it's a little bit of a selfish gameplay. I do still have the two keys, but like I said, I was just, at the beginning, the ignorance of the people not knowing what they were doing, standing there in the cabin, I was like, I gotta go. Now, like I said, there's a pretty good Jason. He ends up cleaning up for the most part. Like I said, I don't want to totally spoil it yet. The game's still not over, but you can pretty much see where it's going. You know, lone wolf, here I am, basically the last final sprint to the two-seater, and here we go, off to the races. I just get my bearings, you know, before I hop in. You know, there's still a few players left, keeping him occupied, and here it is. Basically,
It worked! It actually worked!
I know he's going to hear the engine start. And he's gonna know, like I said, he's got the four-seater booby trap, so it's not rocket science, he's coming for me. Here it is, I give him the slip. Nice little piece of driving early on. Give him the dipper Rooney. And like I said, I know I'm pretty much in the clear. I figure he's gonna have one last chance to basically morph out in front of me. And it's gonna be 50-50, either me or him. So, and here it comes, basically coming up towards the end. You know, threading the needle. What can I say? This has been Big Willie, signing off.